How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Box to Box. Shout out Turkish. Right, listen, it's Arsenal versus Brighton on Sunday, a 2 p.m. kickoff. I've got a good friend of mine joining me on this preview, Maz, a big Brighton fan. Maz, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm looking forward to this game. I mean, you guys just come off the back of a Europa League win against Marseille, the 1-0 in the week, and we drew. I'll be honest, we drew obviously against PSV, but that's fine. We topped our group. Things are quite rosy over the side when it comes to Champions League football. But we're back to the Premier League football this Sunday. And we're going to get straight into this. You know, we both got two passionate managers. Our one just recently, bust case and pulled through. So he's going to be with us, which is a nice bonus. And your manager, you know, very passionate, but doesn't get any charges, it doesn't seem like. But it's all good. It's all good. But listen, I want to get your thoughts quickly. I want to get your thoughts ahead of Sunday's game, though. How are you feeling for this fixture?
Do you know what? I'm actually quite confident, considering our track record against you boys. You know, do you remember the Basuma Nacho Monreal moment last season when we made your whole stadium evacuate as well? That was all good fun. So yeah, look, we got
3-0. That was a painful one.
Yeah. So you know, recent times we've had a good record at the Emirates. A few results here and there. But yeah, I am going into it. I think we've got to be confident to get a result at least. But you guys, of course, playing really good football and you're looking good. I know you've had a bit of a slip up against Villa, but I think I have to go into the game confident, and we'll see. It's going to be a really tough game. You boys are a very good side. You know, Declan Rice balling out in that centre midfield, and our midfield is probably our weakest area, I'd say, at the moment, and defensively as well. So yeah, it's going to be a really tough game, but I'm looking forward to it.
No, it actually pains me a little bit that you say you're confident, because you have a right to be confident. In the last 3 meetings at our place, you've beaten us. So the stats aren't in our favour when it comes to that. But yeah, to you're confident does worry me a bit, because I feel like you're becoming a bit of a bogey side for Arsenal. That's how I feel, and I just hope we get it over the line. I do want to ask you about De Zerbi though, Maz, because I don't know. People talk about De Zerbi hype. I speak to a lot of other fans that say, as soon as there's talk of you should get a new manager, the first thing that pops to the top of the list is De Zerbi. But how have you made of him this season so far? Because he's had a few losses, but he has one as well. But you're sitting in 8th. What have you made of him this season?
I think this season is the first time I questioned him. Obviously, last season he was brilliant, but this season is the first time I've actually gone, do you know what? Is he making the right calls? Is he doing too much rotating? Is he, ready for that step up in the elite managers level? We're talking, the Peps, the Guardiolas, Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, in that sort of bracket. You got to think, is he of that ilk because of what's going on this season? However, in saying that, like you mentioned, he's finished top of the group in Europa. He's currently sitting in 8th in the league. He's doing a decent job. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those ones where, of course, I'm buzzing to have him as a manager. He's been incredible for us. He's got some huge results, and he's a very passionate guy, and I love that passion as well. Like last night, jumping into the crowd, giving hugs all around. Like I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, at the same time, there was a few moments in the season where I think, have you made too many changes? Have you done the right setup? But look, I'm no manager. He knows way better than me. So in De Zerbi, we trust.
In De Zerbi, you trust, yeah. It's funny because I think we kind of went through that as well, that phase as Arsenal fans at times where, the football wasn't as great from Arsenal and things didn't seem to be clicking. And a lot of fans are questioning it. However, we look at the results. I mean, we're sitting second and we're top of our Champions League group, and you kind of take a step back and think, what are we complaining about? But I hear you. I actually hear you loudly, because I feel like, as I said, I think it was kind of a similar sort of thing, but just from a different club. That's the kind of same things we had. But you mentioned about the rotation. Now, you guys, I think the most rotated squad of this season so far. You've had so many different players play. What is that down to, Maz? Is that injury, or is that just him trying new things? If you brought through Hinzelwood as well, you've got youngsters coming through as well. So it seems like he's doing the right thing, but you said you questioned it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, look, we've had, I think us and Newcastle had the biggest injury crisis in the Premier League at one point. I think a couple of weeks ago, I think we had 12 and 11 respectively, which is just insane to have that many players. I think we could have fielded a full 11 of starters as an injury 11. So it just shows, we've been really unlucky with injuries. However, I think he does want to rotate. He said it from the beginning, the whole Europa League campaign. I think it's the first ever season we've been in Europe, so he doesn't know what the demands are. He probably as a manager knows what it is, but the players, it's a lot of their first times. So yeah, I think I get why he's done it, but at the same time, as a fan, you want to see your best players starting every game. But I do understand why he has made some of the decisions he's made. And also, a big talking point, obviously, we've been on an Arsenal show, the number 1 and number 2 spot, which I know you guys have had the same issues with Ramsdale and Raya.
Oh,
We've had the same one, man.
Raya, yeah.
Steele and Verbruggen. You know, he's every game it seems like one of them starts, one of them doesn't, and he keeps rotating. I'm personally not a fan of that. I think your number 1 should be your number 1, and I think he should stick to that. I'm not a big fan of the whole rotating the goalkeeper. Me personally, but yeah, I know you guys have had the same issues.
All right, just yeah, Maz, I want you to talk a bit more on that, because it's funny because I'm so engulfed in Arsenal news and the fan base. I didn't know that you guys are going through the same thing. In my opinion, it's the most frustrating conversation around the fan base, because it's just been brought to our attention because we've created it from Mikel Arteta saying, yeah, we need 2 goalkeepers or we can rotate, and in theory he's actually lied. So on your side, are your goalkeepers, are they actually rotating, or is they just one being saved for cup game or the lesser games? Because it seems like Ramsdale's kind of not really being used unless he has to play like for when Raya couldn't play against Brentford, so he has to play Ramsdale. Or is yours more like that, or is it more he is actually rotating each game?
No. He just fully, honestly, I think Verbruggen, what was it? He had like a 2-game spell where he was unbelievable. I think he got man of the match, and then he got dropped the next game for Steele. And it's like, surely as a player, you're sitting there, you must be thinking, what is going on here? Verbruggen must be sitting there thinking, I've just got a man of the match performance, and I've been dropped the next game. But yeah, I think personally as a fan, I'm not a big fan of it. I think you want to have a consistent goalkeeper. You want to have a foundation which is consistent. So you look at Lewis Dunk, let's say Verbruggen or Steele, and then that spine, Billy Gilmore, and then going up that sort of route with either Ferguson. Again, he rotates Ferguson. Ferguson's, I think, 7th top goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's played up, I think, not even 10 games or something crazy. So again, it's just...
Yeah, he does rotate him a lot. That shocks me.
Yeah, which is insane, man. Like, it's crazy to me as a fan but again, he must have a method to this. Like, he probably thinks Verbruggen, much less experienced, needs that time to embed, learn how he plays. Obviously, we've got a very, we essentially play him as like a third centre back when we play a 2 at the back, 2 centre halves. He's essentially that third centre back, Steele or Verbruggen. So maybe he doesn't trust Verbruggen yet fully to do that role, whereas Steele's very good with his feet. So yeah, I think he's still trying to work out and actually just embed Verbruggen slowly, because he only came in this season, so he'd maybe just trying to embed him a bit slower. And yeah, that's the only thing I could put it down to, really.
What are these managers doing, man? Leave the goalkeeper. It's so fun. I'm glad because it annoys me, and I'm sure like you just mentioned there. It's like, just let the goalkeeper be. Pick one, bruv. Like, bloody hell. Oh,
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Just on that, actually. Are you Team Raya or Team Ramsdale?
I'm at the stage where I don't even know myself. I'll be real, like. Listen, I like Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's a quality keeper. I think he's been disrespected in the sense of when people say, but when last season he let us... Like, they're pulling up things that I think he saved us for so many games last season, but people are going to all these mistakes, and I feel like they're being a bit harsh there. And I really back Ramsdale, but I think Raya's also a very good keeper. I just think the situation they've been put in with this whole... you play here, you play first, you're the first team goalkeeper, you're first choice, so you're not. I think it's ruining their confidence. I think it's just been an issue made out of nothing. So, but I don't think there's much in it. That's my opinion. I'm used to Ramsdale. I built a closer bond to Ramsdale over the last season, so I'm going to gravitate more towards that side. But it's not like it's definite for me. If whoever plays, I'm not fussed. If I'm honest, I just want you to be good in goal. That's really it.
I was going to say that though, because surely.
I don't think
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, Ramsdale, obviously last season, he had a pretty decent season. You guys finished second, obviously. Like, imagine him going into the season going, I've done all right last season. I'm going to start again for Arsenal. And then all of a sudden, he brings Raya in him. And that must absolutely shatter your confidence as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, it has. And we can see that every time I watch either one of them in goal, you can see they're nervous. Funny enough, actually, Ramsdale against PSV, he had a good game. He was very confident. But yeah, I've seen it in the Premier League when they're in goal. They just seem like a bag of nerves, and it's all being created by the manager, which I think it's a shame, because there's other positions that we could have focused on in the window to cover, but he went with the goalkeeper and created this whole thing now. But listen, it is what it is. I get maybe it's the genius managers that are doing it. You know, maybe because I like the Zerbi. Maybe it's him and maybe they might be onto something. Maybe we're behind. Who knows? Who knows? I do want to. Yeah, there must be. I hope there is. On that as well, because I was going to say, hopefully it leads us. Maybe there's method to the madness that leads us to the Premier League title by the end of this season. I want to know as a Brighton fan, your expectations for this season, Maz, because I've looked at I'm quite close to Brighton as well. I live quite close, and you know, I used to play down the Sussex side, so I kind of had a little bit, have a little bit of affiliation with them. So I've always looked at Brighton as a club that I liked, and I felt like last season you had a really good season. I want to know how you feel for this season. What's your expectations as a fan?
I think now, if we want to keep progressing the way we have been, like obviously it's been an astronomical rise in the last 5 years as a football club. I think if we want to keep progressing, I think we have to secure Europe again. I think a minimum Europa League as a top 7 finish. However, it's you can only dream, I suppose, as a fan. Like if we could get Champions League football, obviously that would be insane. But I don't think that's going to happen this season. Let's just put that clear. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But Europa League for me is. You're going to get clipped. I'm not going to get clipped today. Not today. But Europa League for me, I think is the probably the least I expect as a Brighton fan this season.
Yeah, how far do you expect to go in the competition this season in the Europa League then, as well?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to go with quarterfinals. Cecil, you pushed me. I'm going to go quarterfinals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Fair enough. And rightly so. You should be able to have enough quality to get there. Let's talk about just quickly your thoughts on Arsenal this season. And we spoke about Mikel Arteta a little bit, but your just thoughts from an outsider looking in at Arsenal this season and Mikel Arteta and what he's done so far.
Do you know what? If I'm being brutally honest, I haven't been all impressed by Arsenal in the sense of, like, I feel like there's been games where, look, don't get me wrong, you're winning games, you're up there, you're competing, you're definitely title challengers for sure. However, I feel like there's been far from emphatic wins. I think the Luton game, for example, is the one that stood out for me just because of recency. But it was one of those games where I thought Luton were probably the better side that game, and then you guys got the win. But in saying that, fair enough. Like, you've got to win, and you've got to beat what's in front of you. It doesn't matter how you win it, as long as you get the win. 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day. However, just for me, the performances haven't really been up to scratch from what I think you guys want. And if you want to be beating Man City to the title, I think you have to be dominating teams and actually showing every game we are the better side, and we are across the whole season. We are the better team, and I know last season, towards the end of the season, you guys fell off, unfortunately for you guys. And that's another thing I think you have to question is, do Arsenal have the mentality to win the league? And you probably know better than me. However, as an outsider, right now, do I see enough leaders in that team? Probably not. I think that's one thing that Arsenal probably lack, is that mentality, mentality monsters, as we like to call them. I think City have been there, done that. Yeah. They've done it season on season. What was it? Last season, they just went on a mad winning run. I think it was 17 games or something. Or season before.
15 or 17, 1 or 2,
like they just have that aura and that mentality. And I feel that's one thing that Arsenal are maybe missing at the moment, is that real cutting edge and that clinical, so just finishing off teams and really taking it to teams and being, look, we are Arsenal Football Club and we will beat you and we will be the best team on the pitch. And I just don't know if they have that right now. But all things can change. Yeah. We're still very early on in the season, a long way to 100%. Go. And yeah, man. Do you know what? I like Arsenal, I like Arsenal. Go on. No,
good. Listen, we're good friends, so I'm glad you said that. So, it'd been a bit awkward if you hated us, because, we get on. But who do you think wins it this year then, quickly, just off the back of what you said there? Who do you think wins the title this year?
I think it's Man City, moment. Man City still for me. I know they are struggling themselves.
Mate, I don't disagree, by the way. I still think,
I think they've had a few, similar to us. I don't think they've still fully got up and running yet. I don't think they're that well-oiled machine that we know Man City to be. However, they've still got Kevin De Bruyne to come back after January. Haaland's obviously been out injured. If they can keep him fit for the whole season, we know he guarantees you 30 goals a season. And actually, just quickly on that, I think that's what you guys are missing, is that that out and out striker. I know Gabriel Jesus came out and said he's not going to score goals, which I thought is mental to say as a striker. So I think you are missing that clinical striker that gets you 30 goals a season, which is the big difference in winning the league and not.
100%. Well, let's hope that happens in January. Just quickly, I don't know how up to date you are with your team news and who's available and whatnot, but you've got a lot of players with injuries. I think people talk about injury crisis. I know you spoke about you and Newcastle being up there at a period with having the most injuries, but where are you at for this game? Because I want to kind of go on to who we should be looking out for. Obviously, you've got a bunch of good players, but who's also not available? Because I don't know if Lewis Dunk is, or do you know any of the latest of kind of who's your big players that you'll be missing come Sunday?
So Lewis Dunk was obviously suspended in the league for getting sent off for calling the referee a naughty name. But he's back, I'm pretty sure. I think it was a 2-game suspension. So I'm pretty sure he's back now for this game.
Okay.
And then the only other sort of key ones are Ansu Fati. He's out for quite a period. And Estepinian, the left back, he's been out and he's still, I think, quite a long way from injury to come back. Yeah, and of course, Julio Enciso, who, by the way, is a Puskás goal nominee, just to put it out there. He's also injured, which is a shame.
Is it?
Yeah, you know the goal he scored against Man City, the top bins one last season. Do you remember that towards the end of the season?
Okay, yes. So I have to think about that. Yeah.
So I think he's in the top 3. Puskás contender, mate. That's what we do, bro.
Oh, Puskás award.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a big boy. All right.
Little old Brighton are doing bits, you know. But yeah, so they're the three ones. three key players are out at the moment. But yeah, apart from that, I think we've got a fully fit squad, and hopefully we go into it. Just don't rotate, De Zerbi, I beg you, please.
Yeah. All right, let's get while I get my notepad out. Give me the player to watch out for on the weekend. I'm getting my notepad out so I can write him down and send it to Edu, because we love doing business with you guys. So let me just give me a player, because I know you've got a lot of good players. But who do you think needs to have a big game and can cause us problems? Let me write it down.
Do you know what? I thought Matoma was brilliant midweek against Marseille, but I'm going to go with Simon Adingra, who is our other winger. He is a pacey winger.
Yep.
He loves to attack. He's got a bunch of tricks. He's usually got a good finish. Yesterday, midweek, he was struggling, but he's usually a good striker of the ball, and he likes to attack players. So I think whoever's playing fullback, which I'm not too sure who it will be for you guys, but I think he'll give him a few problems come Sunday.
Yeah, Dingo, good player as well. Yeah, I'm on the phone to Edu after this and say, listen, look at that Brighton winger. We might need him cover for Saka potentially. So thank you for that, Maz. I appreciate that. Like I said, we love doing business with you guys.
And as long as you're not Chelsea,
there's a lot. You got a lot of players. Nah. We'll look after your players, bro. We'll buy them and we'll turn them into, they'll go to another level. If they go down the road and they go to that club, you know what happens to them. So don't worry about that. But like you mentioned, good players, Matoma, Ferguson, even at Hinslewood. And I'll keep going to Hinslewood because his uncle, Martin, was interim manager when I was at Crawley. Yeah. And he also scouted me. So big up Martin. I'd throw that in there as well, because you've got a big family, the Hinslewoods, and they're all involved in football. So yeah, big them up. Just quickly, who are you looking at for Arsenal? Who are you worried about? Because, we're doing all right. What player comes to mind that can cause you problems?
You've got to always look at Saka, I think. I know some people are questioning his form this season, which I think is a bit harsh, but you've got to always look at Bukayo Saka, man. He's an absolute baller. I think he's a big gem. He's one of Arsenal's best players. And, I'll probably look at him as your sort of main threat. But you know what? Maybe Trossard could come back and haunt us. You never know if he comes on, off the bench and does something to us. So you never know. But, of course, I think it's got to be Saka, man. I think he's a special player.
Talk to me here, because you said the midfield for you is a bit weak. Or do you think the game's won and lost in that midfield? Because I actually think you're right. Most people mention Saka, and I understand that. He's incredible when he comes out with big moments, especially this season. But Declan Rice has been he's been for us, honestly, Maz. He's been sensational. I can't even think of words. I'm like, incredible. I'm thinking of so many different words to describe him. Is the game won and lost in that midfield? Because if you say it's weak, I feel like we might be able to, if we control that, we're in for hopefully a good result come Sunday.
No, definitely, man. I definitely say, I wouldn't say it's a weak area for us, but I definitely, since McAllister and Caicedo left, it is considerably different, and I'd say it has been weakened. I don't think you can get away from that fact as a Brighton fan, as much as you don't want to probably accept that fact. Unfortunately, since Caicedo and McAllister have gone, it's definitely got weaker. So Yeah, we've got Billy Gilmore in there, and we've got Carlos Baleba, and as well as Pascal Gross, of course. Who's, by the way, Gross and Gilmore are two top fantastic players. However, if you then, like you said, go up against Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz maybe not so much, but Odegaard and Declan Rice, they're definitely, two players that can really hurt you as a team. So definitely, I think that midfield battle is going to be a real deciding factor in the game. And I think if Declan Rice is on top of his game, it's going to be a long day for us.
Well, hopefully, listen, we need to break the curse of you guys beating us at our place. It's actually starting to get annoying, so hopefully it does change. We are going into the stage where we have our score predictions, and I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, you keep talking about rotation. I think that's the thing that has kind of not let you guys down this season because you're having an okay season, but that could be an issue come this Sunday when we play against you guys. Obviously, you played Marseille in the week, done well, you got your result. Will you rotate? Will there be tired legs? And then also, you have your derby the next game after us against Palace. I don't know what's more important. I suppose you'll be looking...
Don't call it a derby. Don't call it a derby. It's a rivalry. You know what you're doing as well. You know what you're doing. It's not a derby. It's a rivalry.
Bro, it's a derby. The Eagles and that versus the Eagles and the motorway derby. And
you're a bad man.
I see it on football Twitter them talking about it's not a derby, it's a rivalry, but we're having a bit of fun here.
No. You're right. We got a big game after. But you know what? I'm going to be confident, Cecil. I'm going 2-1 Brighton, baby. Let's go.
Ooh, 2-1. You said confident, but that's not us. I mean, you beat us 3-0 last season, so to say 2-1, that shows a little bit of a chink in your armour of confidence. Yeah. I haven't even thought of a score prediction. Okay, well, I'm going to go. I think a lot of the boys here at AFTV have spoken about, 3-1s, 4-1s, quite high scoring wins to Arsenal, by the way. I'm not going to do that. I think it's going to be quite a tight game. I really do.
Cecil, I don't think there'll be more. Name names.
No, I'm not naming names. People will see. It'll be on the previews, or it'll be on some piece of content. So I'm not going to name no names. You'll see it. And when it comes to match day on AFTV, whoever's watching, watch the match day live, I'm sure there'll be a lot of confident heads because I think Arsenal fans are confident they should be. We are still unbeaten at home, and I think we'll keep that record come Sunday. I'm going with a 1-0 win to Arsenal Football Club for me. I think it'll be tight. Brighton are good. I think Brighton are a quality side. I enjoy watching them, so it'll be a tough game for Arsenal. But we need the win. We got Anfield. You got Palace. Cool. We've got to go to Anfield after this. So big game coming up after this game. So we need to make sure we win this, go with confidence, and then lead on to going up to Liverpool before Christmas. But yeah, so 1-0 me, you've gone 2-1 you guys. Well, Maz, I mean, that's it really. Well, thank you very much anyway for joining me on this box to box.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. And listen, I'm sure I'll be seeing you very soon anyway. And big up all your work you've been doing as well for obviously on your channel on Seagull Social and also on Sport Bible, the face of Sport Bible, some would say. So I'm gonna give you that. I'll give you that face of Sport Bible as well. If you haven't seen it, Lab Bible.
You're making me blush, bro.
Big up.
No, bro. I appreciate the kind words, man. And yeah, likewise, man. You're killing it, man. And I love seeing you do well. So keep smashing it, bro.
Thank you. Listen, check out Maz. I'll put all his ats and links in the description in the description below. So make sure you go follow him and hit him up. Thank you very much. And listen, good luck, but not too much luck on Sunday. Let's hope we can get a win. I'll see you soon. Take care, Maz.
In a bit.